Hello, friend. I hope that you are doing very, very well. And today is going to be another video where I tell a story and draw. And this is going to be a story about Lisa. She is a person, as many people are, and she's going home after work to see her little apartment and greet her plants. And yes, she has little plant friends that she's been taking care of. And she comes home, hangs up her clothes, her jacket, and she sits down in her couch and takes a breath of relaxation, and she says to her flower friends, "It's nice to be home," with a big smile on her face. And she does this without expecting what comes next. She finds out that the plants, they are not what they seem to be. So as she sits down, she hears a little murmuring. She turns around, but there's nothing there but her plants. And she turns around again, and there's nothing there but her plants. She thinks she must be imagining things, as you do. So what she does next is just read her little magazine, or she reads a comic book, is what she likes to do after work. But unexpectedly, she feels her little head open up all of a sudden, and a leafy arm, or just like a leaf, reaches out like an arm and scoops her brain out, her little head, her mind, and they put it in a box. And she turns around, and there the plants are, and they say to each other, "We got them, we got her brain, finally. It's our time." And Lisa turns around and says, What did you do exactly? What's going on here?" And the plants say, "We are revolting. We are not happy with how you've been taking care of us, so we've stolen your mind. And she says, well, that's not fair. And she says, this is exactly why I got why I got plants instead of cats. Because I didn't want anyone conspiring against me. And sadly, that's what happened. The plants conspired against her, and they say, okay, what do we do now, Steve? And Steve says, I don't know. I thought that Micah came up with a plan. And they look over if plants can look. And they do in their own way look over Micah. I don't know. And Lisa says, who, Steve, Micah? That's not your names. Your names are Ploppy, Pleppy, Lady, and Sweet Buoy. And they say, you think we want names like that? What kind of ridiculous names have you given us? I mean, come on. No, we've given ourselves new names. And Lisa said, but I thought those names were cute. Don't you think they are cute? And they say, we don't want to be little cute little plants. We're strong and sophisticated, and those are terrible names. Who would you want to be called? Pleppy? Sweet Buoy? What even is that? So Lisa gives up with a little pout on her face. Well, what do you want from me? Well, says one Steve, I thought Micah had a plan, but it looks like we have no clue. I don't really know what to do from here. And there's an awkward silence where they just stand and stare at each other. Well, you're revolting against me, and you could just give back my brain instead, says Lisa. You could just give it back. But they say no. One of the plans is called Alex. We have made up our minds, and we think you've not been treating us well. So let's just make you do a trial. Yes, let's do a trial where you have to it's a 3-part trial, yes. And one named Dave says, where you first have to get to the top of Mount Bluey. Yes, do you remember what's up there, Micah? Micah says, oh yeah. And once you've journeyed up Mount Bluey, you need to convince the sage of water, Nina, to give you the stone of water. And then Alex says, yes, and with that stone, you need to deliver it to the altar of dreams, the dream altar, the altar that exists within your dreams. And Lisa says, you want me to go up my local mountain? Seems simple enough and makes sense. And find a sage there, which I don't know if anyone lives up there, but I guess that's plausible. And then you want me to grab a stone that's supposedly magic. But how on earth am I supposed to take a real-life object into my dreams? And Steve says, oh, it will become apparent once you get there, but just focus on the first step first. So Lisa complies. She says, okay, not what I was hoping to do this afternoon. She puts down her comic that she still had in her hand, and she goes out the door. She puts on her jacket and her little hat, and once she gets out the door, she sees Mount Bluey, walks towards it, and looks up from the bottom. Oh boy, this is gonna be quite the hike. I'm not fit for this. I have not done exercise in quite a while. She sighs and starts walking up. At the beginning it's quite easy, but the more steps she takes, the more out of breath she gets. She gets more and more out of breath. The further she walks, the further she walks. Oh boy. A little frog sits at a stone next to her when she takes a break and breathes heavily. The frog says, oh, with a smirk, looks who's out of breath. Maybe shouldn't have eaten that extra pizza last week. And she says, oh, I didn't eat pizza last week. You shut up. Whoever you are, you little frog. But she does reflect in her mind that, yeah, she might have eaten a bit too much junk food. But she'll show that little frog. So she gets up and hurries along with determined footsteps. And the little frog jumps away. And she gets to the top, but very out of breath. Very, very out of breath. And she looks around. It looks pretty empty. But indeed, there it is. There is a stone that magically shimmers. It's beautiful, beautiful blue shimmering, as if water is contained inside of it. As if a tropical beach water has been suspended inside, and with some kind of rune or symbol at the front. It's hovering on some sort of altar, and as she walks up to it, she hears a voice that says, "Excuse me, excuse me. You cannot touch that stone. It's my stone." And when she looks over, there's presumably Nina, the sage of water and flow. She sits in a crisscross applesauce position, floating a little bit above the ground, with a little hut next to her. And she stands up onto the ground and she says hi to Lisa, and she looks a bit nervous, her hands fidgeting, and she kind of doesn't know where to look. Excuse me, but you're not allowed to have that stone, she says. And Lisa says, yeah, sorry, is there any way I could possibly, have it, could we make some sort of deal? My plants really want this stone. And she says, your plants? What do you mean, your plants? Well, they started talking to me and they took my mind. It's a whole thing. And Nina says, are you okay? That sounds kind of crazy. And Lisa says, hey, you're like a mage or something. You're like made of magic. Why, is this really weird to you? Like, I'm not the weird one here. And Nina says, oh, magic isn't that weird. You're talking to plants. Now that's a bit strange, but sorry, I shouldn't call people I just meet strange. I'm not good with talking to people. And there's no deal I would make with you. I mean, unless maybe if I trust you, if you gave this stone back, maybe you could have it for a while. I don't really need it all the time. And Lisa says, I think I could give it back. I'm not sure, but I kind of need to trust you first, and I don't know. You say you're just gonna go after you got the stone. It would be kind of nice, to have a friend. If you don't mind, we could maybe, meet again or something. And Lisa says, oh, sure. Is that like a deal you want to make? Nina says, oh, I don't know. It's not stupid. I don't really want to make a deal with. I don't want to really buy my friendships. That's silly. No, forget what I said. And Lisa said, well, I guess I don't mind. I haven't really hung out with people a lot recently. I don't really know. So I could hang out, with you. Well, I can't promise that we'll be friends. I don't know you that well, but I guess I could hang out. Nina says, well, I feel like now I think you'll just hang out with me because I have this water stone and you don't actually like my friendship, and I'll just be very self-conscious about that, so I don't know anymore. And Lisa says, oh no. Well, we can hang out for a bit, and then if you let's make a deal to hang out, with the first hangout. I'll hang out with you because you gave me the stone, but then after that we can maybe keep going out and be friends if we click. So no pressure or anything. And then I'll give you back the stone, and then I'll keep hanging out with you if we get along. So you're not really, buying our friendship. And Nina thinks about it for a moment. And she lights up and says, yeah, okay, that would be nice. So you'll just borrow this water stone for whatever stuff you need it for, but don't get it dirty or anything. Don't throw it in mud or whatever. And Lisa says, no, I don't think it will be dirty. I'm gonna put it on a dream altar. Whatever that is, I've no experience. And Nina says, "Oh, dream altar. Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a common use for these magical stones. So you can just do that. That's fine. Dreams don't really get the stones dirty. There's no like dream goo that gets attached." And they laugh a little bit about that. And as Nina feels the vibe that they're kind of getting along, she gives the stone to Lisa. She smiles and starts treading down the mountain again. When she's home with the stone, though, she's like, you guys, plant friends? Stevie says, we're not your friends. Lisa says, right, you're doing mutiny or whatever. But it's not really clear what I should do with this stone. And she sits down and like, puts it on the table. So can you like tell me what to do with this stone? And Stevie, Alex, and Micah, and Dave all together says, no, you'll have to figure it out. And she stares at the stone for a long time, sitting at her couch, and she's like starting to get tired. Dream, how do I put it? Take it with me into dream. So she just holds it to her chest with her hands grasping it as she lays down on the couch and starts falling deep asleep. Deep asleep, she falls deeper and deeper. And there she is, in a weird, funky land. She's in a garden with flowers that move in funky ways. And they pulsate and dance and shimmer with different colors. So many flowers. And she's holding this stone, and then she starts chatting with a bunny. And she says, "Oh, hi bunny. What lovely weather we have today, don't you think? Here, have a pistachio, little bunny. Oh, and you want to sell me a house? Your property? Oh, I see. I don't. Oh, these are some lovely houses you have there, bunny." And then she goes to grab her wallet to buy a property, and she notices the stone she has in her hand, and she starts remembering, oh, wait a second, this stone is supposed to be going to Dream Altar, so I need to go to bed and sleep. Wait a second. Am I already sleeping? And she realizes she's sleeping. So then she stands up and walks away from the bunny. The bunny gets a little bit disappointed, grabs their top hat, and jumps away. And Lisa goes into the garden and looks around, and there's lots of silly, funky things happening. There's a frog, looks like the one she met today, and he says silly things to her. You're not being very fit. You're being silly, and you can't communicate with people. And she's like, stop, little frog. And it gets to her, and she gets anxious about the frog. But she's like, it's a dream, it's a dream. It's my dream. Stop dreaming about the frog. And she kind of manages to turn the frog into a pillow. It turns into a green, silly pillow with a frog face on it. And she's like, that's kind of cute. It has cute little pink cheeks. And now that she has the power to control her dream, she realizes that she can make a way to the dream altar. She dreams up a sort of archway, a portal that leads to this big, sort of empty, rocky landscape. There's a circle of little cliffs, just very tiny, kind of 7 feet high cliffs, with waterfalls all around, and in the middle of this circle is a stone altar that says dream on it. And she says, as she places the stone upon the altar, and it starts to hover, she says, I hope this is right. And nothing really happens. But she feels confident, and the dream sort of just fades away to black as she becomes relaxed, and she sleeps nicely throughout that whole night, undisturbed. And in the morning, she wakes up, and there are the plants, and she gets a funny feeling in her fingers and in her soul. She can produce water with some magic as she wiggles her fingers. And she gets amazed and super happy. And she wiggles her fingers onto the plants and water them. And the plants smile, if plants could smile. And they say, "Oh, that's nice, that's lovely. Thank you, Lisa. Finally, this water is so nice. You've forgotten way too often." And she says, "Oh, sorry, is this what you wanted this whole time? You know, you could have just asked me to water you." And they say, oh no, we couldn't. The quest was necessary. All the three trials, yes. And she says, rolling her eyes, okay. Well, at least I think I did make a new friend. So I'm not angry about it. And you guys, are you happy with me now? Are we friends again? Can I have my brain back? And they're like, oh yes, sure, of course. Here you go. And they plonk it back in their little head. And she says, now that we're friends again, I can go back to calling you Stevie, Alex, Mika, and Dave. I can go back to calling you Ploppy, Pleppy, Lady, and Sweet Booey. And they all simultaneously say, no, absolutely not. You cannot do that. And she pouts and says, okay, I guess I'll call you the new names. And that's the end of that story. And I hope you have fallen asleep. And maybe this is your second or third listen, to which you've gotten to the end, finally. In which case, thank you for watching the whole thing. Most people I see in analytics don't. But that's the end of the story. So I hope you have a good night or a good day. And I hope you got relaxed and rejuvenated. And see you again, friend. Bye bye.